Hello, I'm Michael Davis, CEO and co-director of Evolution, and in this lecture I'm going to give a brief look at transport, specifically the bicycle versus the car. Transport is essentially going from one place to another, and there are a variety of ways that we can do this. Now, the first aspect that we're going to look at is space. Moving people requires space. Here we have a group of approximately 38 people. In the first picture, each with their own car. In the second picture are those people fitting into a single bus, and in the third picture, each one with their own bike. And the space requirement differences are noticeable. Let's go to the two extremes. We have here a car, the Ford F-150, a huge monolith of a vehicle, so big in fact it cannot fit into a standard parking space. And at the other end of the spectrum we have the humble bicycle, in this case a public bike in Quito. Now, the other factor to take into account is energy uses, and in this we're going to draw on a snippet of the fantastic TED Talk by David McKay in TEDx Warwick in 2012.
So let's talk about three more big levers that could really help on the consumption side. First, transport. Here are the physics principles that tell you how to reduce the energy consumption of transport. And people often say, oh yes, technology can answer everything. We can make vehicles that are 100 times more efficient. And that's almost true. Let me show you. The energy consumption of this typical tank here is 80 kilowatt hours per 100 person kilometers. That's the average European car. 80 kilowatt hours. Can we make something 100 times better by applying those physics principles I just listed? Yes, here it is. It's the bicycle. It's 80 times better in energy consumption, and it's powered by biofuel, by Weetabix. And there are other options in between, because maybe the lady in the tank would say, no, 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 that's a lifestyle change. Don't change my lifestyle, please. So, well, we could persuade her to get into a train, and that's still a lot more efficient than a car, but that might be a lifestyle change. Or there's the eco car, top left. It comfortably accommodates one teenager, and it's shorter than a traffic cone, and it's almost as efficient as a bicycle, as long as you drive it at 15 miles per hour.
So, if we look at the McKay methodology from his book Sustainable Energy Without the Hot Air, we can see that the bicycle wins with a mere 2.4 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometer per person. Compared to our Ford 150 monolith, we have a whacking great 124 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers per person with one person in the car. The first thing we should notice, though, is that if we put more people in the car, we get less energy demand. 2 people halves it, and 5 people brings it down 5-fold to 24.8 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometer. Likewise, if we have 5 people on the bike, then each using that 2.4 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometer brings it up to 12. Now, there is still a big difference between 12 and 24.8. However, it can be seen that it is very important to have a full car. The other factor is distance. Because on our bike, say we're in King's Cross in London, we feel generally comfortable cycling up to about 5 kilometer radius, shown in the red circle. However, if we need to get down to Heathrow Airport with our luggage, then a distance of approximately 20 miles is not realistic on the bicycle, and becomes more realistic with the car. We then can explore the electric car. Here is from the Tesla website. The funny thing with the electric car is if we drive from the city to a highway, we actually use more energy on the highway because we don't have regenerative braking. Let's put some numbers into this. With an 85 kilowatt hour battery, we get 354 kilometers. 60 kilowatt hour battery gives us 278. Let's put people in the car. With one person, that gives us 22.8 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, comparable to our Ford 150 when it was stock full of people. But we can put more people into the Tesla too. We halve it with 2 people. If we have 5 people, it's down to a measly 4.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. But the Tesla fits up to 7 people which brings our energy demand to 3.3 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. Now, at this point, we are pretty comparable to the bicycle at 2.4 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. The bicycle is organic fuels, whereas we don't know where our electricity is coming from with the Tesla. Our bicycle also promotes health, but in terms of pure energy demand, we are in the same order of magnitude. Now, distance is always a thing with electric vehicles. Up until recently, they were considered for short distances. You didn't want to be stuck on the road without charge. However, this is changing. Tesla now advertises that you can go from coast to coast in the United States and never run out of fuel due to its supercharging stations. This puts a new light on other initiatives with electric vehicles. If we go to Amsterdam, here we have an electric vehicle with a city-wide infrastructure so that it can always be parked and recharged. This electric vehicle comfortably fits 2 people with some luggage. However, Amsterdam already has a city-wide infrastructure to transport up to 2 people with some luggage. Here it is, and we are back to the bicycle. Anyone who's been in Amsterdam will see often 2 people sitting on the bike, probably with a small handbag or luggage with them, and most likely also speaking on their mobile telephone and perhaps smoking, though latter 2 things which we can't do in our small electric car. So, in summary, let's round up by saying the bike always wins in terms of energy, health and space. However, when we are going long distances, the bicycle is not that feasible. So then we turn our attention to the car. Now, if we're in a car, let's say we need to fill it up with people, and this drastically reduces the energy demand. Then, if we turn to electric vehicles for those long distances and full of people, we actually can reduce our energy demand to something that is comparable to the bicycle. Many thanks for your attention, and I hope you enjoyed that talk.